on display and stared at her in shock. They had makeup back then? Estelle pretended to slash him with a lipstick. How old do you think I am, boy? They moved to the next aisle, where Estelle grabbed an abandoned basket and threw in a few bottles of headache pills. Then she paused and added in some antacids. Min eyed her basket. Feeling okay? I'm fine. Your eyes look like a raccoon. He gestured helpfully to the deep, dark circles on her face in case she didn't understand. Oh, she did. Foundation could only cover so much. My mascara smudged in the snow, she lied. Vampires didn't require much sleep, but she needed more than she was getting. Too many of her nights were spent staring at the ceiling, thinking about the ongoing battle with the dawning, malcontents now under control of the powerful masquerada ancient, young Zay, and brooding on how much she didn't want to be the seneschal. Wishing Cressida was still alive, giving the orders with her usual firm authority. Hoping no one would figure out that she had no place being in charge of a houseplant, let alone the entire vampire military apparatus. Trying not to think about Stephen. She muffled a sigh. Stephan Daker, the masquerada lieutenant, was killing her. They had decided to be friends, and friends only. The fling they'd had last year now felt like the distant past, and they'd agreed it was best for them to focus on professional priorities, like saving the world from a devastating war. Well, he'd suggested it, and she'd agreed. It was the most reasonable way to cope with the situation. The night they'd spent together would be no more than a pleasant memory. A very arousing, exciting, stimulating memory that insisted on intruding when she saw him. Not even his current atrocious attitude could completely spoil it. Min cleared his throat, and she flushed. You done? He held a jar of extra crunchy peanut butter. Yeah. Want to get a drink? Hell yes. Vampires, thank God, could feel the effects of alcohol with the added benefit of no hangovers. She perked up. Maybe the headache pills would work after all. They paid, and Min led the way out and down the street. He paused at a coffee shop, then shook his head and ushered her into a bar. Estelle leaned back with a sigh. You're not on duty tonight, I assume? On call, so one won't hurt me. What do you think about working for Eric? After the battle with the dawning, Eric had offered Min a choice, to return to his old life after having his memories wiped or join Eric's team. The human hadn't hesitated. Min winced. That May woman beats my ass every training round. Say what you will, those masquerada are tough mothers. He glanced at her. Stephen especially. She didn't want to talk about Stephen. There's always a place at Wavenas court if you want. The vampire queen had taken a shine to Min. Yeah, no, he said. Not sure I want to hang around a bunch of people who see me as lunch. Please, we have some control. You'll note I haven't tried to bite you once. Only because you have no taste for prime meat. He grinned at her over the glass, and she had to laugh. Min was only 25, but he'd lived a hard life. Part of why he'd been attracted to the dawning was its promise of immortality and power, so appealing to one who had little to hope for. You could turn, Estelle said. Could, but don't want that any longer. His voice was firm. Min had been one of the dawning's failed attempts to transform humans into shape-shifting masquerada. He'd been lucky. Many others had died during their experiments. How are you doing being seneschal major? Acting seneschal major, Estelle corrected. When Cressida had been killed in battle, she'd been given no choice but to take on the role she'd spent years avoiding. Fine, but it's not like there's another one of you doing the job. Min ordered another drink, and Estelle nodded at the bartender's unspoken question. She definitely wanted a second. She focused for a moment, feeling the bartender's mind and nudging him to a large pour. It's okay, Estelle said.